Hi guys, it's Miss Hubble. Let's go ahead and work on topic 11, lesson 5, converting metric units of capacity. You'll see that I'm now on page 663, the solve and share. A pitcher holds 4 liters of water. How many milliliters does that pitcher hold? Okay, so they put it right here for me. They said, if 1 liter equals a certain number of millimeters, then 4 liters must equal this many milliliters. This is where we need to refer back to our little chart. So if you don't have out your orange metric conversion chart, pause the video and get it out now. You're going to need it. I'm going to write my metric conversions right here. King Henry died usually drinking chocolate milk. Now remember, the U for units yesterday stood for converting length, so it was meters. Today it's capacity, so it's actually going to be liters for the units. Liters, okay? So let's see. In our problem, we're going from liters to milliliters. So let's go to the units. That's our liters, and we're going to say 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right to get our milliliters. So that means when I take my 1, find your decimal and say 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. Fill in your zeros just like we did yesterday. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. Well, if 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters, then 4 liters is 4,000 milliliters. But let's go ahead and prove that that's true. Let's prove that that's true. We are going to say we're going from liters to milliliters. Go to your units, that's your liters, and say 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right to get to milliliters. So put your 4 liters and say 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right equals your milliliters, 4,000 milliliters. Good. Now let's go down to the bottom of the page. Down at the bottom of the page, there is the look back. It says Juanita shares a 1 liter bottle of water with her friends. How much water does each person get? So 1 liter bottle, that's a little thick, huh? With 3 friends. Plus, don't forget Juanita. She's a friend. She's one person, too, that's sharing. And then it says, how much water does each person get? They want our answer in liters, and they want our answer in milliliters. This is a lot going on here. This isn't just a conversion problem. They're saying she has 1 liter, and she wants to share it with 3 friends. When you're sharing something equally, that's a division problem. But I can't just divide. Well, I can divide 1 liter as long as I leave it in liters, right? So let's say I have 1 liter, and I'm going to divide that up for 4 people. Well, my goodness, that's 1/4 of a liter per person. That one's easy enough. But then they want us to give our answer in milliliters. I can't just take 1 liter and divide it up for 4 and get milliliters. I have to convert my liters first. So remember, King Henry died usually drinking chocolate milk. Here are our units. There's our liters. And there's our milliliters. And they say they want us to go from liters to milliliters. So I go to my units up here. Let me get a red pen. Go to my units, and I'm going to jump. 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So when I write down my 1 liter, I go 1, 2, 3 jumps with my decimal to the right. That means it's going to be 1,000 milliliters. But I have to split that up for 4 people. So that means I have to take my 1,000 milliliters. I'm going to divide it up for 4 people. 4 doesn't go into 1, but 4 does go into 10. It goes in 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract and you get 2. Bring down. Brother says bring down. 4 goes into 20. 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. Up, that's going to come out nice and even, and then I'm not going to have anything left over but zeros. So it looks like if I split it up for my friends, I'm going to get 250 milliliters per person. So that it's either 1/4 of a liter per friend or 250 milliliters per friend. We had to do our conversion. Excuse me. And then we had to divide it up for the 4 friends. Those were our 2 steps there. Okay, next is your main lesson. There is a Pearson math video on this lesson. It's topic 11.5. Topic 11.5. So pause the YouTube video, go to your Pearson topic 11.5 and watch the lesson to go with this page. So that would go with page 664. Okay. All right. You should have paused the video. Go and watch your Pearson math video for the top of 664. Now we're at the bottom of 664. We're on the convince me. Okay? So down at the bottom on the convince me, it says order these measurements from greatest to least. Explain how you decided. Well, the first thing I noticed is that I have liters, milliliters, milliliters, liters, liters. I can't leave it like this. I can't order these. Excuse me. I can't order these if I have different units, right? This is kind of like fractions with common denominators. I have to have the same units. So let's go ahead and change them all to be the same thing. I can either change liters to milliliters or milliliters to liters. King Henry died usually drinking chocolate milk. Remember, my units are liters, right? There's my units. Let's go ahead and change all the ones that are liters to milliliters. So that will be 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So let's do this liters first. First we have 2,300 liters. And I say 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So that first one is now 2,300,000 milliliters. That's a lot of milliliters. This one's already milliliters, 300 milliliters. This one's already in milliliters. It's 3,000 milliliters, right? This one here, that one's not in milliliters yet. But I know I have to make 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So I'm going to put my 2, and then I'll jump 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So 2 liters is 2,000 milliliters. Last one, I have 22 liters. And if I want to change it to milliliters, that's 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. I have to tack on 3 zeros. All right, now they're all in milliliters, and I can order them from greatest to least. Well, there's only one of them that's in the millions, right? So this one right here, that's the only one in the millions. So it looks like 2,300 liters is the greatest. And I'm going to use a semicolon instead of a comma because there's already commas in my numbers. All right, I got to find the second greatest. Nope, it's this last one, the 22,000 milliliters. So that means that the 22 liters come second. Put my semicolon. What's the next greatest? Looks like 3,000 is the next greatest. Okay, that means 3,000 milliliters comes next. Done. Next would be the 2,000 milliliters. That one was the 2 liters, so the 2 liters comes next. And then the smallest of all was the one that was 500 milliliters. Okay? How did we decide? It says explain how you decided. Well, all I had to do was I made common units. The common units I chose to use were milliliters. Then once I was done with that, all I had to do was order. Then I ordered them. If you need to pause the video and take the time to write your sentence, you can do that now. Okay, let's take a look at the guided practice. It looks like we are now on page 665, right? Okay, on page 665, we're going to be doing number 1. It says explain how you can convert milliliters to liters. Okay, let's remember what our trick is. King Henry died usually drinking chocolate milk. That means our units are liters, right? Liters. We want to go from milliliters to liters. So let's come over here and let's go to milliliters and jump to the left. 1, 2, 3 jumps to the left. That means that when we move our decimal point, we're moving to the left. If you move to the left, you're going to get a smaller number of liters. We're dividing. When we go from little units to big units, we're dividing. And that was 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. That means 3 zeros. We're dividing by 1,000 because 1,000 has 3 zeros. Or in other words, we are going to move the decimal 3. I always call it jumps, but it's really place values, right? 3 places to the left. Those are the 2 ways we could describe how we do it. You can either divide it by 1,000 or move over your decimal 3 places to the left to get a smaller number because they're bigger units. Okay? What types of tools would you select to measure capacity? Give an example, and how would you use it? Well, capacity is like volume. How much space does something take up? Now, we're not, this is for liquid volume, so the kind of tool we could use would be a measuring cup, right? Think about when you're cooking and you want to bake. You put your water or your oil into a measuring cup. A measuring cup is, explain how would you use it? You'd use it for cooking. A measuring cup is used for cooking. Take a second, write your sentence. Okay. Now it says for 3 through 8, we're going to convert units of capacity. The cool thing about this particular lesson is they are always doing liters and milliliters. It's always going to be 3 jumps, liters to milliliters. Either 3 jumps to the right or 3 jumps to the left, depending on, how we're changing things. So let's do number 3 first. We're going from liters, which are big, to milliliters, which are small. Okay? So if we're doing that, let me get my red color. Come up here to the top. We're going from liters to milliliters. That's 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. So when I move this decimal, I'm going to be moving it. Here's my 275, right? The decimal started here by the 2, and it goes 1, 2, 3 to the right. Now my decimal's over there. That's 2,750 milliliters. These are all 3, 5, and 7, all the odds. Those are all going from liters to milliliters. These are all 3 jumps to the right. So let's just do them all. 5 liters, and then it's 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. That's 5,000 milliliters. Let's do another one. This one's a little strange. It's 27 thousandths of a liter. We have to jump 3 to the right. I'm actually going to use the decimal that they've got here, and I'm going to jump it here. 1, 2, 3 to the right. Now the decimal's actually behind the 27. That means it's just 27 milliliters. Do I have to put the 2 zeros in the front and the decimal at the end? No, as a matter of fact, that's confusing. I just need to put 27 milliliters. All right, let's jump next door, and we're going to do the evens now. Now for all of these, we're actually going to be going from the milliliters to the liters. Let's go to the top. We're going from milliliters to liters. That's 1, 2, 3 jumps to the left. All right, let's do it. So instead of 3,000, we take our decimal and we move it 1, 2, 3 jumps to the left. Well, that's just 3 liters. Let's do milliliters. Take your decimal, 1, 2, 3 jumps to the left. Now that means the decimal is going to be in front of the 2. So for this one, it's going to be decimal 250. Now let me ask you a question. Do we need this dangling 0 at the end? No, not really. It doesn't change the value. But I probably do want to put a 0 in front so that they know it's 0 and 25 hundredths. If you just put the decimal at the front, sometimes it can be confusing. All right, we're almost done. Milliliters to liters. That means we're jumping 1, 2, 3 to the left. So that would be 1, 2, 3 to the left. The decimal is now in front of the 4. Do I have to put those dangling zeros? No, I don't have to put those dangling zeros. Trailing zeros, they're called. But I do probably want to put a 0 in front of my decimal. So this one's 0 and 4, but the 4 is in the tenths place, so that's 0 and 4 tenths. All right, guys, I'm going to stop the video here so that you guys can work on some of those independent practice problems together. Bye, guys.